One pharmacy group has voluntarily passed on the full $1 prescription discount to all eligible patients on all concessional scripts.
And we will continue to stand by our commitment to make healthcare more affordable for all Australians. So every Australian pensioner, veteran or concession card holder saves $1 off their prescription. That's added up to an incredible $100 million. Chemist Warehouse, always here for you.
Discounting prescriptions in every store, every day.
It's going to be close. Browning! Yes! The Flying Mullet wins! Look at Myers! Unbelievable!
A meat record, could it be? It is!
That's the face of somebody who wants to be a champion.
Another World Championship qualifier for Shelley Jenica.
Caldwell goes up to her. Hull won't relinquish. It's going to be one of the greats.
Across the country, across the world, you hear day 7 of the Australian National Championship, the 101st edition, brought to you by Chemist Warehouse. Another beautiful day here in Adelaide. And straight up, we have our women's 200-metre hurdles. I'll hand you over to Nick Wall. Nana also free in the booth too.
Thanks, Mitch. Yeah, heat number 1 here. There'll be 2 heats, so top 3, next 3 fastest through to the final. So they're away in heat number 1 here of this under 15 200-metre hurdle. Sienna Geck, the Victorian on the inside. Jemima Hood, who won the 80-metre hurdles yesterday so strongly. She's moving very well. On the outside of that, you've got Mackenzie Preston Poole, Aaliyah Pike, Indiana O'Neill, and also Lola Onaho. But on the inside, it is Jemima Hood, winner of the 90-metre hurdles yesterday, the Victorian. And she's moving away from teammate Sienna Geck in heat number 1 here. They'll be good, comfortable qualifiers to get that last flight. Also following there through Mackenzie Preston Poole, Lola Ahonaho will have to wait there for times. Likewise will Jemima's training part there, Indiana O'Neill. Nana, good way to kick off the morning. Jemima Hood was busy yesterday, 4x1, 90-metre hurdles win. She's got a busy program.
She's one of the busiest girls at this competition today, and it's great to see the pink ribbon is back for the Victorians.
Yeah, it's a trend that we're starting to see through quite a few of them.
And the pink shoes.
The pink shoes, though.
She's easy to spot with all the events she has today.
That's not a Victorian trait over there, the pink shoes, obviously. But certainly good first up win there. Jemima Hood gets away through the final. See what happens here in heat number 2.
There'll be 2 heats for this event, so 3 qualifiers and 3 little Qs.
So Nana, it was a great day of competition yesterday. We went off air just before the relays. The relays were action-packed.
Yes, we were lucky enough to watch some of them, and these kids are quick. There were a lot of chase downs in those relays.
And some seriously close finishes, so exciting yesterday.
I'm sure many of those kids will be lining up today as we have some great events over the next couple of hours.
Yeah, we do. Look, it's a long day ahead. There's some steeplechase finals. I'm really looking forward to the sprint hurdles finals of the 110s. For heat number 1, results have come through to hand. 29.96 Jemima Hood, Sienna Geck 30.90. Mackenzie Preston Poole, 31.23. Again, the others will have to wait for times.
So are we jumping the sprint hurdles?
Yeah, definitely not ever jumping a hurdle, ever. You never jump a hurdle. As soon as you jump a hurdle, you lose all your horizontal velocity. That's the technical.
You've heard it here, folks. Hurdle, not jump.
So important. I'm just going to look at some of the results then we didn't go away with last night. 800-metre qualifiers here. So under 13 800s. What do we have there? So that 800 yesterday. So Rosie Connolly, the fastest of the athletes to get through.
And it looks like with the centre record.
Well, championship record, yeah. Championship record, yeah. Of course, it should be. It's only the second time that event, so unsurprising a little bit there. Under 14 girls as well had their 800s last night, just after we went to air. So heat number 2 behind the blocks. So very even start at hurdle number 1. Possibly ACT's Henderson Allard got away quite nicely. We work through the bend now, out wide. It looks to be Emma Wilson of Victoria setting a strong trend out there. And also the Queenslander now moving through. That's Leah Bruggen. So we saw Leah Bruggen yesterday in the sprint hurdle. She's now been trying to be headed again by Emma Wilson. So Emma Wilson coming back at her. And now Olivia Dunlop's moved away into third, the other Queenslander. So they're your top 3 as they go over the last flight. And they will be the 2 Queenslanders and the Victorian who will progress automatically. New South Wales athletes, their pro-bets will have to wait for times. But good run there, Leah Bruggen of Queensland, who automatically qualifies through to the final there, along with Emma Wilson. And inside of her, a second Queenslander, Olivia Dunlop.
With the 200 hurdles, is the natural progression 400 hurdles for most of these
Well, it's a bit of a
athletes, or the
confusing one,
shorter?
Nana. We talked about this yesterday. They used to, so some little A's events, and even in my junior lifetime, there used to be 300-metre hurdles, so 7 flights. This here is 10 hurdles over 200 metres, so it probably favours the sprint hurdlers more than it does the long-term intermediate hurdlers. Probably gives them a taste a bit of the lactic, but it's only in that 30-second range rather than that sort of that 300-metre hurdle event. But probably at the moment still favours a really quality sprint hurdler.
We talked about in the short hurdles 3 steps or 3
So
strides.
these
usually.
girls are going to be having, if they're very Jemima Hood, I haven't looked at her stride pattern, but she might be good enough for 7, but probably 8, maybe alternating. Some of the girls will be at 9 strides. Some will make the decision to stay on their good leg. That is like their favoured leg, so they'd rather stay on their good leg because they haven't learnt to have alternate hurdle yet.
So you just talked about alternating hurdles. Is that something an elite or a senior athlete usually does?
You've got no choice. You've got no choice once you get to those levels to be able to do it. A good hurdles coach would be coaching a junior hurdler to have competency on both legs early on if they've got any potential to be going up to the intermediates. And some kids, when they're young at the sprint hurdles, have to alternate anyway for 4 strides before they get to 3, so they've got no choice.
And do they stay on the same height?
So these here are 76 centimetres, which is exactly the same height as 400-metre hurdles for women's at the Olympic level.
No. Oh, my God.
So it does
They're
not change.
prepared.
It does not change. So here we've got the hammer throw. I might get you to pull up those field events again today, Nana. We'll get an update of what's going on.
We have the under 15 men's hammer throw.
So the current leader in the competition is Kalasi Olita, 54.77.
Followed by Alexander Rice with 40.96.
So second round attempts there for that hammer throw. So there's those updates of those hammer throw on the scoreboard at the moment as they get in the second round. Rice of New South Wales, 40.96. Tonga, New South Wales, 33.27. But lots of throws to come in that event to really change the order. 2-metre hurdle qualifiers now confirmed. Lem Bruggen we saw win the second heat. She gets through with Emma Wilson, who was second, the Queenslander Dunlop. And the small cues come from that second heat there being Probits of New South Wales and also Brayshaw of WA. So 200-metre hurdles, boys. Next, only 2 to automatically qualify here, Nana, because we have 3 heats. First heat will be Logan McDermott of Queensland, Nicholas Heitbrink of Victoria, Mitchell Warrilow, WA, Bryant Dieppe, New South Wales, Nate Hall, Victoria, Trav Ackerman, WA. He was terrific yesterday in the sprint hurdles. The very individual haircut we saw there that Mitch liked so much.
The bowl cut and the rat tail.
Yeah, and Lyndon Hermes, Queensland. So heat number 1, he's going to be the man to watch. Trev Ackerman of WA out wide.
We just saw Lee Benbow in the under 15 hammer throw have his second attempt.
So rocketing behind their blocks now. Oh, we've got the headband here from the Victorian. I like that, Nate Hall. He means business.
We saw that in the shorter hurdles as well.
Yeah, he means business. Was in a couple of 1500s yesterday. Nothing wrong with a bit of individuality, Nana.
We love personalities in this sport. We need more.
Yep, absolutely. I remember here in Adelaide Relay Championships.
Oh my God!
Sam Reiser wearing the headband.
Yeah.
That just brought back memories right then. Nate Hall, lean and strong. So out wide, you've got the individual sprint hurdles champion from yesterday, Trav Ackerman from WA, and he's moved quickly on the outside. Chasing him through there's Nate Hall. He's the Victorian in the headband. And behind them, it's a battle between Warrilow and also probably Hitbrink. And also now the New South Welshman there in Dieppe trying to get through that second spot. But out in front, there's only 2 spots automatic, and it'll be the WA Ackerman. He gets over the last flight comfortably. Hall gets through automatically. West Australian Warrilow will have to wait on times. 27.78 for Ackerman. We saw how good he was yesterday in the sprint hurdles. He's looking to make a double this week in the under 15 hurdles, Nana.
He'll be one to watch. He has the fastest qualifier going in, but as we talked about yesterday, it's just a season's best.
That's right. So, and PBs at this age are ready to be broken every time you race. So look, he got out well in the first hurdle. Hall was aggressive. I thought Hall really attacked them well. He was right with him at hurdle number 4. And then gradually Ackerman just moved away a little bit here. We talked about it earlier there. So we look at Ackerman there, goes with his right leg, gets again to his right. So 7-stride pattern for him while Hall was on an 8-stride pattern there, Nana. So that was exactly what we talked about, a 7-stride version versus an 8-stride version.
Does that make a difference at this
Well,
age?
it's just the way the extra stride means it's theoretically slower. So Ackerman's got the advantage of just taking one less stride between the hurdles. So if his turnover's high, it's going to work.
Ackerman in first place with 27.77, followed by Hall in 28.19 and Warlow in 29.04. He has a small queue. He'll have to wait for the next 2 heats. Oh, look at the infield. Dead wind.
Yeah, no wind at all. It's a different day today in Adelaide. The sun's breaking through now, but quite overcast this morning for the first time we've seen. We are a little bit earlier than we've been, to be fair.
That is very true.
Each day, but yeah, certainly a bit more overcast this morning. It stopped me from going out for my morning run.
Oh, Nick, what are we going to talk about for the rest of the stream if it's not for your run?
I know. No, I don't think it was that stopped me. I think it was the 2 days of running in a row for these old bones. But 200-metre hurdles, heat number 2 now, just getting their way back behind the blocks here. You've got Thomas Madigan of the ACT, Alfie Webb of Victoria, Campbell Bannister, WA. He's the WA athletes here, very good at these 200-metre hurdles. Sebastian Ketch of New South Wales, Alexander Carroll on Victoria, Remy Mitchell, New South Wales, and Harry Osborne, must be event number, I think, 9 for the week, did the heptathlon. Then doubled up with the sprint hurdles yesterday. Here he is in the Queensland colours.
To be a kid, so much energy.
Yeah, Dad's just in front of us here in the white cap.
He's got the camera out.
Yep, ready to go. So for the Osborne family back at home, your brother particularly, Jesse, I'm pretty sure it's Jesse Osborne in a bit higher age group who's been out injured. Harry's here flying the flag for the Osbornes and Queenslanders. I've seen a few of these Nana, in the WA. I'm trying to work out whether it's a bodysuit with a sleeve or it's just a tight t-shirt.
I think it's a t-shirt.
Going. Yeah, they've got the sleeves.
I
the
rate
sleeves
that.
A bit of John Stephenson, like I remember. So away from the inside, Madigan. Webb got a good start. So did Bannister, the West Australian. He's moved up now to check. It is of New South Wales. Carroll Mitchell and Harry Osborne out wide, and must be his 9th event of the championships after doing the heptathlon. So Osborne is out wide. Big hurdle hit there from Bannister, but he's recovered well, and he's chasing, looking for that automatic spot. So Osborne, he's getting control here. He's going to go over the last 2 flights. Bannister's made a great recovery. He'll get an automatic spot. He'll look to make a bit of a change, that stride pattern in the final, but they'll get through automatically. The New South Welshman there in check next. The Victorian Carroll, but Osborne No tired legs of him despite being a very busy championships, Nana.
It looked like he really controlled himself with about 4 flights of hurdles to go. We see that in the 100 and the 200, the kids switching off, looking side to side. How does that affect how you go over the hurdle, Nick?
Oh, if you've got the rhythm here, it's unlike the sprint hurdles, you probably can't do it, but you can see him here. He's hurdling well. He's actually got it, for a tall athlete, he's alternating legs, so he's going on 8 stride. You can see he's chopping a fair bit. So he's got the ability to still make
he's going
the 8, and he's switched off there. You can see there, he's switched off over the 3 flights. He got the job done. As we said, probably conserving a little bit of energy after such a busy program he's had.
It doesn't look like it's been busy. He was flying.
Oh, and Bannister, I like that. That was pretty impressive effort. He hit hurdle number 5 very hard, lost all his balance, and still held on and got this spot. He gets back into the final. He'll run faster there. He's a little bit ginger as he walks off there, so I reckon his trail leg might have copped a bit of a belting.
But we can confirm it was a T-shirt.
Yeah, so yep, that's important to know. Well, that's going to be a big hammer throw. That's getting out of the 45-metre mark. I reckon that's Rice currently in 2nd spot. We'll check that, but I reckon that's Alexander Rice of New South Wales. Can he get up close to that 50-metre mark of our current leader being Orlita? No, it's a foul. So it might have been out that far, but it will not count. Should always look for that flag now. Nana should know before I get too excited.
But it was a big throw. Give him some confidence for the next attempt.
Into his last round. So they'll be going to the last round shortly. Victorian, was it Riley, I reckon, in the circle?
Yes.
It's Riley's best so far. 33.05. He's in 4th. Big jump here at the moment. So 3rd, the bronze medal spot. That won't be his best so far, but the 3rd spot is really up for grabs. We've got 2 throwers a long way ahead of this field. Obviously, it's a young age for hammer throw, so a lot of them just learning the ropes.
This would be their first year of hammer throw. So in that second heat, Harry Osborne with 28.30 and Campbell Bannister in 29.29.
And Check and Carroll have run themselves into the little queue, so that's the fastest heat for depth so far. So you pretty much need to break 30 seconds now to get through if you're 3rd or 4th in this heat. So from inside it'll be Gillett of New South Wales, Thompson of New South Wales, Cox of New South Wales, Farrugia, guess where? New South Wales, Charlie Campion of Queensland, and Camden Madison, Victorian. So it's going to be 4 New South Welshmen chasing down Charlie Campion and also Camden Madison of Victoria out wide. And it's the New South Welshman at the moment, the faster than being Max Farrugia, the tall figure of Farrugia. Now he's being joined by Harry Thompson in lane number 2. So and then inside of that, Zach Gillett. So Zach Gillett powering down the home straight. Him and Farrugia are looking for the automatic cues. Ryan Cox is going to have to try and get himself a sub-30 to make his way into the final. But it's going to be out in front. It's going to be a clear win. Zach Gillett. Farrugia will get through. Cox needs to hope he can break about 30 seconds to get a little cue. But that's our 3 heats wrapped up at the 200-metre hurdles for under 15. Good run there. He was strong around the bend, Zach Gillett. He's tidy his hurl up on the bend, a bit messy in that inside lane. You can tell he prefers hurling on his left side now rather than his right. Really strong on his left. The right's got a bit of work to do, but he got the job done. The flowing locks. And you can see here, you can see he likes his left because he got back onto his left only. So down the straight, went from alternating down on the bend.
Added an extra stride.
Yeah, so he went from 8s to 9s. So 28.48 for him. Max Farrugia 29.32. And Ryan Cox
has done enough.
Gets a little cue. I don't think Thompson will be quite close enough, we'll see, but as they come up. Check will get through also with 29.97 with Warrilow 29.04. Carroll misses out there.
We talked about boys struggling with the short hurdles due to height. Does that affect him as much with the extra 100 metres?
But the difference here is because the hurdles are further apart, you can play with that stride pattern to be 7, 8 or 9. So in the sprint hurdles, if you're not doing 3, you're not in the race. Here, based on how good your turnover might be, 7 might be good, but you might be a slow 7, you might be a bounder.
Okay.
8's probably, I think for most of the boys this age, 8's probably really, really good. But it means you really want to be proficient with both legs, and it means you hold 8 probably the whole way through. Because there is some lactic, there is the ability for some of the athletes to chop back, which we saw there happen in the last heat with Gillett. He went from 8s to 9s. So yeah, there's a small degree of tactical in this one because you can see, and also look at the big finish off the last hurdle. There's still time to run off the last hurdle, so you want some momentum into that last hurdle.
We talked about 8 strides. Can I only assume, putting my mathematical hat on, that for a 400 hurdles we're doubling that?
Yeah, sort of. These are not exactly half the length. They're slightly longer than half the distance of 400 metre hurdles between them, so it's a bit weird. So these are, from memory, about 18 metres apart. 400 metre hurdles are 35 apart. So yes, it's almost half, but not quite. 400 metre hurdles, we were talking about the other day. Thomas Hunt, the new New South Wales Australian Open champion now, had dominant this season. He's a 13 stride man. So, you know, you work your way up and he gets to 13. A lot of the girls will be running at 15. Lauren Bowden was trying to get through 15 hurdles. So I think that number 6 when she was running well. So, yeah, it's similar. It's a similar range, yeah, somewhere between the men and women, somewhere between 13 and 17 if they chop down at some stage. Oh, look, young Victorian here. Got a bit of a fan club. Nicholas Brink having a photo with all the squad. Family and friends. Great to see all the happy faces post-races.
I know, and all the family and support that comes with the junior competitions. It's very refreshing to watch. Sometimes we think athletics is an individual sport, but there's a team and a lot of support behind these athletes.
Behind them,
Underway now, we also have the under-14 men's triple jump final with 2 competitors have jumped so far. Finn Wyatt with 10.41 and Christoph Jacob with 10.06.
So we'll give you as much action from the triple jump and the hammer throw as we can get. See there the officials chatting in depth to the hammer throwers at the moment. Not sure what we're discussing there.
That is the under-16 hammer throw. So we have 2 hammer throws going on.
In the same circle at the same time. That's the alternating, are they?
I believe so.
Yeah, so they're just alternating throws. Must be. So that's that update on the board. So Dabin, the New South Welshman, 58.0. Berry, the Victorian, 46.57. Finnicolau, New South Wales, 46.10. Traino, New South Wales, 42.93, just behind. Maybe the South Australian Williams still in the mix also with 40.36. So your top 5 throwers in that competition as the Queenslanders in the circle. Let's control that one. Is he going to get back in? No. He's hit the circle, so it's a foul.
Right now we have Kim on the runway.
About 12 metres. So he's probably taken off the 11-metre board there, I imagine. Yep, straight away there, straight to the video now. You're allowed to show them competition technical feedback immediately.
Really? I wasn't too sure about that.
As long as you're in the coaching zone.
Between the 2 cones.
Yep.
So Kim was 9.69 on his first attempt.
Oh, so I was wrong. 9-metre board, not the 11-metre board. So I said near 12, obviously near 10. Yeah, the things you don't grasp. There's so much stuff happening at the track. It's really hard to work out.
Who's where, what side of the pit, what age group.
So that must be about a 10-metre jump from Rolton as well.
We have more going into the circle of the under-16s hammer.
Where does he sit currently in that competition? He must be sitting the under-15 age group. Must be back to the under 15s now. Oh, there he is, James Moore. His best so far was 29.46. That'll be just under that again, or just about the same.
And we have Song on the runway.
Oh, nice jump phase.
I wish I had the coordination for triple
As with
jump.
so many of these young kids, though, that middle phase is the tough one. They get this great height and great distance on their first phase, and they collapse on the second phase, and they're excited again to do the jump at the end.
Hop, step, and then jump.
It's a nightmare of an event to coach, Nana. A nightmare. And the amount of stress they put through these bodies in triple jump. It's sort of one of those events that you almost don't want to train for too much too young. You just naturally do it, and then
if you've got coordination and a bit of speed, it'll take you far.
You want to develop your strength over time before you do the full work.
We just saw Benbow with his 4th attempt in the hammer throw.
It's a really nice phase there from the
I
Victorian.
reckon that might be our
Triple
biggest
jump.
jump of the competition so far.
So Ezequiel, Tony Ezequiel from Victoria. Let's see if he can get out near that 11 metre mark. Our leader currently at 10.78. He'll be certainly in the 10s. Whether he's gone far enough to move any further up. Kim was 9.69, we said. We saw Songo 10.78. There's your new competition leader.
You were right. That looked like a very big jump.
10.89.
And we've got Riley back in the circle. With his 4th attempt. He's hoping to beat 33.05. Oh, a no throw for Riley in that competition, so it won't see him moving up the ranks, but he is currently in the 5th position. Now for the 200 metre hurdles, under 16s, do we see the height go up, or it's for all age groups the same height?
So same height for all the junior 200 metre hurdlers, boys and girls. So they're quite
They just get
little.
faster.
Yeah, they're quite little, quite easy.
We'd
the
like to
boys
see
here.
you down there, Nick.
So Matt Milius here, he's going to absolutely monster these hurdles.
That would be his 5th or 6th event of this competition.
No, well, it's his 4th in about 18 hours.
Wow.
So
I hope you got a good night's sleep.
yeah, and considering he had heats yesterday as well, so he's been busy.
Oh, we've got a hammer throw stuck in the net, so there might be a bit of a wait for the next
I want
round.
to see how they get this down here. Now this is a bit of an OHS one, isn't it, for the official there? He's trying to shake it down. Can he get out of the way quick enough as it lands?
Do we have a ladder here?
It's a big ladder, Nana. Oh, here we go. Look at him. This is very technical. I wonder what you call it when you remove a hammer from the cage. Is it technical term?
A hammer shake, maybe?
Oh yeah, hammer shake.
I'm TMing that right now. If anyone would like to buy the rights off that. It looks like
Maybe
it
you
is
throw, you know when
stuck.
you get a basketball stuck on the in the rim.
And you've got to
You
throw another one at it.
basketball at it. Maybe we throw another hammer at it.
I don't know if they're trying to get it up there. You'd have to be pretty accurate. Or could we leave it up there? I feel like it won't affect the competition.
Oh, it's the risk of it falling down though.
That is very true, but it looks
Look at
like...
Tonga's had a look at it. He's like a bit scared.
We have Jacob on the runway from South Australia.
Oh, look, there's action aplenty here. We've got no doubt there's lots of things happening here on day number 7.
And it looks like we are ready for the under 16 200 metre hurdles as the first heat lines up.
So heat number 1 just getting behind their blocks. Milias, we went with, wasn't it, in the end, Nana? You correctly told us yesterday, Matt Milias.
Nick, how many times do I have to tell you? It's Milliers.
Milias.
Oh.
Got me stirring you.
Oh, sure.
Milias. Matthew Milias.
We'll get Mitch's input on that after.
Blade Thompson of Queensland in 2. Cale Brown, New South Wales 4. Joshua White, South Australia 5. Ruben Chapman, WA 6. Alex Spadara, New South Wales 7. Jackson Frost, Queensland in 8. So on the inside, Matt Milias of Victoria. So Maddie Malay's doing really well there, moving through. We saw how busy he was yesterday in that 400 metres and long jump double that were on exactly the same time. He's going to take out this heat very easily. The New South Welshman Spadaro outside in a good battle with Jackson Frost, and now joining the party there is Thompson. It's all about the Victorian, 25.59. Unfortunate timing yesterday meant that he had a very busy schedule, but the 200 metre hurdles is the only one on his agenda this morning, Nana. It was a good run from the Victorian.
Very strong run from him. He's such a powerful, tall boy. I think this is one of many events that he will excel in for years to come.
So look at him there. So right leg dominant. So 7 strides as we come through. Holds his form all the way through to the line. Terrific running. So little blip in his program yesterday, as I said. He didn't do anything wrong. He was trying to do the right thing back to the long jump. But he's bounced back wonderfully, and that's a great trait for a young athlete to see what he can do on a very busy championships.
That's one of 3 heats, top 2 to qualify with 3 little Qs. And the official time for Matt Milliers is 25.56, followed by Jack Frost with 27.13.
Do you know what, Nana? I actually thought I had it going right in the middle there, and then I just confused myself after we talked about it. It's all Nana's fault. It's all Mitch's fault. It's all Mitch's fault yesterday. Mitch ignored you, and I did the same thing to you today.
Maybe it's Matt's fault. He's in so many events.
Oh, you think if he was in so many events, you'd get the name right, wouldn't you?
You would think. You would think. And we're all from Victoria, so we've seen him compete many times. And we have Kim back on the runway.
Good job, Matt Millius. Well done.
Now, you know a lot about hurdles, Nick, but do you know a lot about the triple jump?
I know it's a tough event. I know that.
How do you pick the board?
I know that. Well, you base that on how far you can jump. So you don't want to be jumping. You don't want to be landing too close to the pit on your second phase, but you also don't want to be worried on your third phase that you're going to land on the rubber. So you got
happy medium.
Typically, these athletes would have 2 choices at board. In this competition, I reckon it's a 9 and 11 metre choice. So if you're jumping anywhere. If you're jumping anything under 11.5 metres, then you're going to obviously go back to the 9 metre board. So that would be the scenario, and you see most of these kids here sending in the 9 metre. What I do know is Connor Murphy, we think, became the first ever father-son combination to win in the same event at Nationals. So Connor Murphy followed his old man Andrew, who won. I think
Mr. Andrew Murph.
We think it was double figures of national titles. Murph won, and Connor took his first national title. So that was amazing on the weekend.
Proud dad and coach moment for the both of them.
Yeah, Connor Murphy, Andrew Murphy, an absolute superstar, world indoor medalist.
I think Andrew's still here. He's got some athletes competing.
Number two all-time Australian in the triple jump. But here we go, heat number 2, Cameron Badger, who was terrific in the sprint hurdles yesterday. Andre Shepis, Victoria. Emmanuel Moros, New South Wales. Ken Ferrante Tanakawa, he was even better yesterday in the sprint hurdles. Alexander Jan, New South Wales. Connor Campbell, Queensland. Thomas Froggatt, Penanda, Queensland. So in the middle lanes, it's the local South Australian. He won the sprint hurdles yesterday, Ken Ferrante Tanakawa, and he's dominating here as we go through the first flights of 5 hurdles in this 200-metre hurdles under 16. The biggest chaser there's Badger. Badger was also a medalist in that sprint hurdles yesterday, and he's now hunting down Ferrante Tanakawa. So the 2 medalists from the sprint hurdles here, and Badger's back end's just good enough to get through. Ferrante Tanakawa can serve some energy, but it's going to be those 2 through automatically. The Queenslander Campbell will have to wait on times, but very impressive there from the front 2. Badger's back end was awesome. Ferrante Tanakawa was absolutely dynamic over the first 5 flights, Nana, and that's heat number 2, the under 16 sprint hurdle, 200-metre hurdles.
Running on a bend is tough enough, but having to hurdle, not jump, hurdle on a bend.
The trick is, look at especially if an athlete can be on their left leg and stay on it, great. The ones who are obviously alternating here, that's okay. Just a bit of an advantage. You don't ever have that risk of your trail leg getting DQ'd if you're hurdling with your right leg, because your left leg then has to get all the way over the hurdle. So some of them,
wow, I didn't think about that.
Some of the hurdlers trail a little bit. Unfortunately, I preferred hurdling my right, so it took a lot of work to get onto my left.
Cameron Badger, the winner of that heat with 26.83.
He's great there. He looked really good. I mean, our boy Milias in heat number 1 certainly set a good standard. But the 3 of them familiar with each other. Other podium winners yesterday in the sprint hurdle. So,
that will be an event to watch.
Now, more importantly, watching something. We've got the pool cleaners come, and he's got the end of his pool cleaner.
And
He's come to fix the hammer.
I think he might be too short. He might need someone tall in the crowd.
Never query the length of a man's big long stick. So he's okay, he's got it. He's just going to try and work on the handle first.
Oh, so we're yanking the handle.
I think that's what we're going with. We've got it, look.
Oh, yes.
Now, does it rip the net, though? Look at this. So, I agree with you. If he grabs the handle here, surely.
I thought we were pushing on the actual hammer.
That's what I would have thought. It's obviously stuck in something.
He's done a number on it.
He's flicked his... So I wonder what's on the other end of the stick. There's a different attachment at the other end, I think. Or the other end just got the
Yes! So the hammer is down.
That's one of our Victorian officials. They're doing a wonderful job.
And everyone is safe. No one was injured in the process.
To be fair, they only just got out of the way in time. It was coming down with fair velocity.
And it would be very heavy. 4 kilos for that age group.
Hey, that's an extendable stick. I like that. That's good.
They are prepared, our officials. This is not their first rodeo. And we have Heat 3 lining up of the 200-metre hurdles under 16 boys.
So, top 2 to go through, next 2 fastest. The times have been pretty quick so far. Evan Bainbridge, Victoria. Matthew Reid, Queensland. Zach Evans, New South Wales. Hayden Anderson, ACT. Spencer DeLacy, SA. Thomas Webb, WA. Max Wright, Victoria. Leonardo Serrame, Queensland, out wide. One of the ones to watch. So we won't be watching Sarah May out wide because he's not a non-starter. But inside, Evan Bainbridge got to mire very quickly. He's moving very nicely. Likewise is his Victorian teammate out wide in Max Wright. And now, big hurdle hit there from Reid. Can he recover from that one? And now the New South Welshman and the WA athletes in Webb and also Evans moving along well. But it's all the Victorian here. Evan Bainbridge making sure of this final. The battle on for the second automatic spot's going to be hard. The West Australian belts the second last hurdle, unfortunately. And Evans will get through behind Bainbridge. It'll be Wright that'll have to wait for times. Very good run, though. Evan Bainbridge. So 26.36. He'll join the list of qualifiers so far.
Nick, we saw a couple hurdles being hit. How do you just forget, move on, and get your stride pattern back on track so you can continue the race?
You've got no choice, do you, Nana? The finish line's nearing. You've got to get there somehow. So,
do you think it's a bit different between the short and the long?
The short hurdle is often your rhythm's totally gone. Here you saw yesterday in the 4 hurdles specifically, you can still get back up and get going. The 200-metre hurdles, it does affect you a fair bit, but if you can find a way to regain your momentum, you can still make it through. We saw in the under-15 boys, the young West Australian have a big hit and made his way still through. You might have to add a stride, but hopefully it's not too detrimental to your race. We'll wait for some times in that third here. It'll be interesting to see where the little cues come from. Milias, I think, still has the fastest time of all.
I think he was the only 25 of those 3 heats.
Bainbridge, though, I really like the way he hurdled there. He's going to be a challenger to Ferrante Tenakawa and also Badger from heat number 2, who, as expected, were 2 of the fast qualifiers also.
So Bainbridge with 26.35 and Evans with 27.55, with Max Wright making a small queue with 27.68.
So I think it's been a pretty even spread of athletes in the final there. We're going to have the Victorians being the fastest 2 qualifiers in the end there.
I'm sure they've versed each other a couple of times.
Bainbridge go through as the fast 2. Milias a long way in front with speed. Badger, Jack Frost of Queensland also gets through. Ferrante Tenakawa of South Australia. Spadara of New South Wales gets through a little queue. So does Blade Thompson of Queensland.
You can see the wind is picking up for those last 2 heats with a headwind of a 1.5 and a 1.3 in the second heat.
Does get through his definite last heat. And Zach Evans will get through obviously as a second place getter. So that's your qualifiers for the final. If you want to see all these results live, get onto the roster app.
Oh, that looked like a big jump.
You will see the results on the roster app at the same time that they see them in photo finish in the booth and the same time that we get them. So you don't have to worry about any delay. The roster live results app is the quickest way to be up to date with the results. And they're on the stadium now here in the scoreboard in the stadium, those same qualifiers here. What an amazing resource we have now with the roster app and the ability to see live results. And in our field events, importantly, you see results through the rounds, which is something we've never had the ability to be doing before.
I really enjoy that, especially being at home. We see Kim on the runway.
Looking to get out over 10 metres. Looking to get out over 10 metres after 9, I think 67 from memory in the first round.
I think you might be right there.
Yep. Now, while they get ready for this next series of rounds, we're going to throw to a quick break here at day 7 of the Australian Athletics Championships.
One pharmacy group has voluntarily passed on the full $1 prescription discount to all eligible patients on all concessional scripts.
And we will continue to stand by our commitment to make healthcare more affordable for all Australians. So every Australian pensioner, veteran or concession card holder saves $1 off their prescription. That's added up to an incredible $100 million. Chemist Warehouse, always here for you.
Discounting prescriptions in every store, every day.
So we return to the long jump, the triple jump.
Couple more phases in this.
If they can jump 10 metres in the triple jump, in the long jump, they're doing pretty well. Chris Matreski's trying hard at the moment. Song, if he can get that middle phase, just a little, hold it for a little bit longer, he's going to get a big one out there. I think the Victorian's still leading this competition. We'll get an update from you, Nana. No,
Stanley
not at all.
Moore now
Stanley
with
Moore's gonna-
11.88
Oh, wow, they've really extended since we cut away from
in the
there.
first round.
So 11.88, 11.10 for Madigan. Ramesh Kumar, 11.09.
But that jump brings Song into 5th place now.
10.94. So it is, he's getting out there. He's getting close to what he needs. So 11.09 gets you into the medals. So he's not far away with 1 round to go.
We see the under 17 and 18 girls getting ready for their 400 metres. The 1 lap.
Oh, love it. I love the 400. And it's going to
No
be...
one said ever.
Oh, no, I genuinely do. I love the way they race. I don't necessarily love running it.
Oh.
Love watching others do it. I must admit, I love 4x4s.
4x4s are fun. I feel like mentally you don't think that you're running 400 metres, especially if you're cutting in. If you're number 2, you're like, oh my God, I'm at the 200 metre mark already. And I just started. But then the lactic hits about 10 metres later.
So, good lineup in the first heat. It includes the bronze medalists from the all schools there. Lacey Tilliard, who was excellent in Perth, Tasmanian. We've got another one of our Fijian visitors here. I'll get you to update that triple jump there. It's the Queenslander.
Currently in 3rd place, but that looked like a big jump. Oh, I saw a clap.
Ramesh Kumar. Wait for you to give this update on that one. .1087, so he doesn't go any further, but it's around the same. He's consistent, 10.92, 11.09, and 10.87. That 1 second round, just a little bit longer than his other two, has meant that he stays in that bronze medal position at the moment with 1 round to go.
So this is the under 17s and under 18s, so they are vying for an Oceania spot.
They are, and interestingly, we won't see last year's under 16 champ in this race, Rose Ackland, because Rose Ackland will run up in the under-18s to try to give herself a better opportunity. So,
as we talked about yesterday,
did,
that
yeah.
the under-17s have a discretionary spot for the third place at Oceania.
so actually, I'm going to check that, but I'm pretty sure I saw Rose.
We welcome back
I did see
Mitchell
Rose Apple.
Dyer. Welcome.
Good to be back, guys. Great calling of those 200-metre hurdles.
We've missed you.
I've missed being in the booth, to be honest.
We've been getting a lot of text updates, though, saying Mitch, it sounded really professional up in the box
Yeah, it
while you've been
sounded
gone.
really,
While you're gone.
really high quality, high class.
So thank you for bringing us back down.
That screechy guy's not there.
No.
No, the voice is
It's
fully back
It
now.
is fully back.
No
And
one
tell
can
you
say
what,
anything.
Nana has just stepped up this morning. She is all over it.
Third day's a charm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not surprised at all.
So
Tamsin Jr.
here we go. Heat number 1. It will be Rudy Blackley of New South Wales, Cheyenne Murray of New South Wales, Eliza Moore Kirkland, Queensland, Estelle Walsh, New South Wales, Gabrielle King, Victoria, Lacey Tilliard, Tasmania, Adi Lutamalagi, Fijian in 8, and Anna Colgan, WA. So from the outside, you've got Anna Colgan, the West Australian, who was in the 800 final yesterday. You've got Lutamalagi here, the Fijian. Lacey Tilliard, the Tasmanian, moving very quickly already. She was the All Schools bronze medalist in December. Gabrielle King of Victoria. She's now been joined by Estelle Walsh of New South Wales. Likewise, Eliza Moore Kirkland moving quickly up from Queensland. Cheyenne Murray, New South Wales, has taken the stagger out of her 3 athletes, and Rudy Blackley trailing along the field here, but with some good work now through that 200-metre mark. So out wide, it's a battle in 2 at the moment. So Tilliard, the Tasmanian, Anna Colgan, they're the West Australian with some work to do. Remember, only 2 automatically qualify through this final. Next 3 have to wait on times. So Tilliard, the Tasmanian. Cheyenne Murray now making the challenge to Colgan out wide. New South Wales, Walsh trying to split them in the middle. But it is going to be Tilliard. Tilliard from Tasmania gets the job done. She'll make her way through to the final. So will also Cheyenne Murray. Colgan has to wait on times with Estelle Walsh. 57.16 unofficial for Tilliard. Job done. Move well. She worked her way up to Colgan, who set a really good pace early. And again, they're your automatic qualifiers. We see the replay here. And you see how quickly and hard Tilliard worked early to take the stagger on the outside and try to chase down Colgan, the West Australian.
So impressive back end there to that women's heat 1 of 3 under 17 400s. As you said, Nick, only the top 2 will go through automatically. So Tilliard 57.16, Cheyenne Murray 57.58, and Colgan at 58.33. We're waiting for the rest of these times to pop up, but keep an eye on them. So it's going to be 3 small queues that move on through. They'll run a field of 9 in the finals, which is always great to see every lane being occupied for these junior finals. And we have a pretty fast second heat about to get underway here as well.
So, Mitch, the interesting one here is Anna Tobin, who won the 800 yesterday, the national champ in the 800. She was second across the line behind the New Zealander. So perfectly called by myself for 500 metres, the wrong athlete, but that's okay. It is Anna Tobin, who was the national champ yesterday. I didn't give her the credit she was due because we thought she was second across the line in Australia. But she's your Australian champ, and she was also bronze in this event last year.
Yeah, she's got some serious sets of wheels. So she's third on the outside, the Victorian, and there's a good group of them in here as well. So on the inside of the track, it's Macy Hare, the Western Australian, Jessica Basanovic from New South Wales in lane 3, Charlotte Smith from the ACT in 4, Mia Rayson, the Victorian, in 5, Mia Van Newton-Jim from Tasmania in 6. Anna Tobin, we've just mentioned, the 800-metre national champion yesterday, fastest in the field as well with a 56.4 lifetime best. She's in 7. Anika Boys in lane number 8 from New South Wales, and Ashlyn Wall, she's in lane number 9. So full field here. Only the top 2 are going to go through automatically to that final. And we'll await the next 3 fastest times in the 58s and 59s at the moment. Will get you in there. Heat 2 of 3, women's under 17 400. So a good start there. On a Tobin, 3 from the outside, 1 to watch. She was your national champion in the 800 metres just yesterday. Van Newton-Jim as well, the Tasmanian. Won't want to spot her all that much room, but they're up the track and chasing Ashland Wall. So Wall from New South Wales, widest on the track, got a great start. Tobin now starting to get into her rhythm, and Van Newton-Jim as well going with her. So in the middle of the track, it's Tobin and Van Newton-Jim, the Tasmanian. The 2 to watch here in heat 2 of 3. The top 2 are automatically through to this final. It's Tobin now who picks up Wall on the outside, who started strong. So Tobin will enter into the straight first. Van Newton-Jim as well, the Tasmanian, moving nicely. And Racing, the Victorian, on the inside will have some company from Basanovic. So they make their way in now. Honor Tobin is out in front. She's got that first automatic spot at the moment. Van Newton-Jim, the Tasmanian, moving well. Hare from Western Australia now rivals up on both of them. So it's Tobin out in front. Hare from Western Australia wants to get there. Van Newton-Jim, the Tasmanian, in second, and there'll be 1-2. There it is. On a Tobin, Van Newton-Jim, and then back to Macy Hare from Western Australia. She came really strongly over that final 50 metres to contest, so we'll wait on these times, but it is going to be on a Tobin and Mia Van Newton-Jim. They'll be the first 2 through to that final in heat number 2.
Yeah, Mitch, it was a terrific run there by Tobin. Just controlled it nicely after the work she did yesterday in the 800. She looked really in control. She's obviously a very smooth mover. With Nana and I talked yesterday about the different styles of some of these girls in the 800 when they're coming down the straight. And on a Tobin, she seldom loses her form.
So on a Tobin, really impressive, as we said, Nick. A busy day yesterday, becoming the national champion. That'll take something out of your legs, but it looks like she just did what she had to. She's a 56 runner at her best, so really just switched it off. And I love the little look to the left and right, just see exactly who's around you and maybe the clip that they're running at and figure things out from there. But on a Tobin, she's class. She's been doing it for so long in Victoria. She's been dominant. And on the national stage as well, she will always come and represent strongly. So next one's up here. We can see it. So in that heat there, Macy Hare puts herself in a position to be in the final of the Western Australian. So at the moment, it's Anna Colgan from Heat 1, Western Australia's 58.33, Hare's 58.76, and Estelle Walsh from New South Wales, 58.79. They're your small Qs. So anything under 58.8 should put you through to this final here of the women's under 17 400. So some great names here for you to read out as well, Nick, in Heat 3. This is one of my favourite names in junior athletics, I reckon. Minka Tehehe Tukino.
It is. I spoke to her yesterday after her run in the 200 metres, and she said the 400's her favourite event. Clarified, Dad's a New Zealander, so the Maori name. So looking forward to seeing how she goes here, Minka. Doesn't fit on a bib too well.
I was actually talking to somebody this morning, Caleb Kirkpatrick, and he said, geez, it must be hard up in the booth to tell the difference between the WA and New Zealand colours. It's got to be difficult. I said, well, it's funny you mentioned that, actually, because it is incredibly tough when you put the names across the chest as well. You can't see what's really underneath them, so it's a difficult one. So everybody understands, Nick. Everybody understands.
It's crazy that we still it's crazy we're still operating with bibs, isn't it? Anyway, you think pins would be something of the past. But anyway, we've got Piri Barnes here at Tasmania in 2, Mabel Dukes, New South Wales 3. Tihuhu Takino, Queensland in 4, Blackman 5, Griffin 6, Evans WA 7, Cummins South Australia 8, Bryant Queensland in 9. So away the outside, Bryant from Queensland looking to pull away from this field here. Blackman's going to be one of the chasers in lane number 5. She was silver at the All Schools here, the New South Wales athlete. And on the inside of them, the finalist yesterday in that 200 metres, Tehuhu Tokino looking very good there, chasing through them, taking the stagger out. So it's a battle in the moment at 3 and 3, I reckon. You've got Bryant, the Queenslander, out wide, Blackman moving through the middle lanes, and then chasing her, it is the Queenslander, Tehuhu Tokino. So 150 to go. 2 spots only up for grabs in this heat to go through to the final tomorrow afternoon. And it's going to be the Queenslander now moving your way up to Blackman. So Tehuhu Tokino trying to get up onto the shoulder of Blackman. They haven't been able to shake Bryant yet. The second Queenslander out wide. So Bryant coming back at her teammate. Bryant, the second Queenslander, might even grab the heat win if she keeps flying through like this. It's going to be a tight one at the finish. I'm going to call it that Blackman's taken the automatic spot guaranteed. The 2 Queenslanders will have to wait for the roster app to photo finish to upload. because Bryant, she went out hard early. Tahihi Takino came back and did a wonderful job of working her way back into it, but then at the end, Bryant gave one more final surge. She never gave up on it, did she there, Nana?
No, she didn't, and we've learnt from a couple of races over the past weekend that you have to run through the line.
Wow,
She was 5 or 6 metres back. Yeah, she was 5 or 6 metres back at the top of the straight. She kept fighting.
It's that top-end speed.
Tahihi Takino had the advantage of being on the shoulder of Blackman, whereas Bryant, look at that cadence and turnover.
I reckon you've called that well, Nick.
I think she might have just snuck in.
That is close.
Oh, we've seen a lot of that over these
You look at the
champs.
scoreboard picture there, that's going to show you exactly what happened.
Oh, I think she's got in first.
Yeah, I think you've called that perfectly, Nick. I think she's just got the dip there.
We'll just have to wait for the live results.
Yeah, we'll wait for the live results to come up for us.
I think either way, even if you are third in that position, I think you'll get in on time.
58.31 for Blackman, 58.38 for Bryant, and Tahihi Takino 58.39.
And she
at
has
the
done
moment.
enough for
She
a
has to
small
wait for this
queue.
last. Yeah, she'll have to wait for this last heat. So there will be 3 extras get through on times, and at the moment, Colgan's one of those. And here, the other West Australian at the moment is third. Gets through. Apologies, Mitch. That was the third heat, so she gets through on times, of course. I did say she'd have to wait for the third heat. She was the third heat.
in the third heat.
So our small queues there will be Colgan, the West Australian. Tahihi Takino gets through as well with 58.39. Hihi gets through, obviously, with 58.76, the West Australian. And then it was the top 2 place getters in the rest of the heats being Van Utgum of Tasmania, Bryant of Queensland, Blackman of New South Wales, Tobin of Victoria, Cheyenne Murray of New South Wales, and also Tilliard goes through as the fastest qualifier, the Tasmanian.
I have an update from the hammer throw under 16 men's. Cooper Dabin is the winner with 67.
Run under that World Junior qualifying standard. Now, she's a little way down the list, so there's no guarantee, obviously, that she would be on that flight to Peru, but you just never know what can happen in these junior championships. Got Nana, he's got a finger up saying, no, you never know what can happen here. So, Shari Herdman, I highly doubt you're going to see such a run in the heat. She'll be biding her time for the final. But she's in the middle of the track. She's lane 4 from New South Wales, Herdman. Real testament to just how quick these women are running, because there's about 9 women who have run the qualifying standard for that World Junior team. And we're lucky to have Herdman in here. Rose Ackland, another one. She'll go out at heat number 2. And I think that's it in terms of this age group.
But I tell you what, though, Mitch, you've got some class in here, though. Wow.
Yeah.
Like you go through, you've got...
Well, Kurtian as well in that third heat.
In the third heat, you've got Kurtian, but you've also got the 400-metre hurdles gold medalist from yesterday, Marston, who spoke so well to Nana after the race. You've got Declan Tanner, the 800-metre gold medalist from yesterday.
And Kyra Pilmer, the WA athlete.
So that's a cracking final heat.
Well, and given only the top 2 go through automatically, so imagine you're staring down the barrel some of these women in heat 2 and 3, and you know that the calibre of heat number 3 is going to be coming up next. So inside of the lane here, though, from New South Wales, it's Samara Bond. Lane number 2, Sierra Yaquez from the ACT. Harriet Cox in lane number 3 from South Australia. Shari Herdman, who we've mentioned, 54.2 her best. The New South Wales woman. She's in 4. Scarlett Southern, the Victorian, in 5. Sophie Moore, the Queenslander, in 6. Hannah Timpani, the South Australian, in 7. Poppy Healy. I think she was in that 800, Nick, yesterday, Poppy Healy, or she was competing yesterday. I certainly remember that name, the New Zealander, in 8. And Nakia Talea, the New South Wales woman, she is out in lane number 9. So here they are, heat 1 of 3 for the women's under 18, 400 metres.
Samara Bronze was the bronze medalist in this event last year. And of course, Herdman, you've talked about her 400 strength, but she's also the silver medalist in the 200 yesterday.
So watch for that over the back end of this 400, you'd think, Shari Herdman. As I said, she has run sub 55, Shari Herdman. 54.83 in Sydney just last month, so. We'll go through the ground announcing here. And here we go. Heat 1 of 3, women's under 18, 400 metres.
I reckon Samara Bond was also in that sprint final as well.
So Bond on the inside, or we'll call them actually as they make their way out of the blocks. They're in the hands of the starters. Watch for a fast start, Herdman, middle of the track. So a good clean start here. Bond, Yaquez, Cox, Herdman, Southern Moore, Tampani, Healy and Talea. That's how they go. The New South Wales woman, Nakia Talea, is out there in lane number 8. So they'll be in pursuit. Herdman in the middle of the track. She's the fastest here. And she's now picking up that outside stagger of Scarlett Southern, the Victorian, on her outside shoulder. Sophie Moore through the first 200 metres is quick. And so too Harriet Cox from South Australia. Some work to do to pick up on Bond. As they make their way out there, though, it's Talea from New South Wales. Looking really comfortable out in lane 8, running blind, just trying to imagine where they might be, but here comes Herdman. So Shari Herdman now, she'll enter into this home straight first. Following along there on the inside, though, is going to be Yaquez as well, as they make their way through now. So Herdman will have some work to do. She takes out the scrunchie, and she says, oh, I better get out in front. So Herdman's let the hair go loose. She's out there, though. She finds her time, and she'll take it. So Herdman gets there. Inside of the track was Bond.
Mitch, I have never had that problem. I've never seen it. She's removed the scrunchie halfway down the straight. It was obviously getting stuck on something. No, you've got the best hair of the three of us in the box.
I absolutely
Have a look down the
love
straight here.
that. It is giving Sha'Carri Richardson in the 100-metre final at the US Champs.
So that's who you want. That's who you want to be giving as well in global athletics, Sha'Carri Richardson. So took it out and had a look left and right and said, oh, I've got company.
Talk about being relaxed in a race.
Well, she looks really strong this week.
So
very, very strong.
74 as well for Shari Herdman. So good time. Samara Bond gets that second automatic qualifier with a 57.24. And Talea, the New South Wales woman, on the outside, 57.36 for her. So obviously they'll have 3 small Q qualifiers. We'll wait for these next 2 heats, but that's where they are at the moment.
Is it possibly the fastest ever 400 metres with a scrunchie removal?
I reckon. I'm trying to lip read right now, and I think it got caught in the back of her crop top. Oh, we're getting away.
Well, Shari,
I think
well
she's
done.
saying I'm right.
It is an awesome lot of hair she has there, and she ran so well yesterday in that 200.
Oh,
and she just looks happy.
She looks embarrassed. She's got their hands on their head.
She looked awesome yesterday in the 200.
She can hear you, Mitch. She's saying, stop talking about me.
I thought it was impressive. Nothing to be embarrassed about at all. Still won that heat, which is amazing in and of itself.
They're on the phone. I wonder who's chatting to her on the phone, giving her some feedback.
Mum's like, you need a double scrunchie it next time. We love that.
That's amazing.
We've got ribbons, we've got scrunchies.
I guess you don't want to lose your scrunchie on the track either, do
No,
you?
they're hard to find
you don't wanna-
sometimes.
You don't want to lose one of those.
You buy a packet of 10 and you've
They're
got
gone
one.
instantly, aren't they?
You know a thing or two about that.
Yeah, I used to have the man bun back in the day.
Well, heat number 2 now getting their way behind the blocks. Emily Hugo here of New South Wales will be in the inside. Malakar McLeod of South Australia, the local, in number 2. Ella Litchfield, South Australian 3. Isabella Tarr, Victorian 4. Leah Cox, Queensland 5. Piper Devine, Queensland 6. One of the ones to watch here. Isabel Usher, New South Wales 7. Lucy Delbridge, the silver medalist event last year in lane 8. And Rose Ackland, gold, down in the lower age group, under 16s last year.